Okay, folks, we finished book 2 of the Transcendence series, and I am sorry to Twilight. I love the Twilight series as a book series. The movies, obviously, butchered the books, but I love Twilight series, and I know I started the Twilight book, but I love the Transcendence series, and I've already read the 2 books now, and so I have to continue. So we are on to Catalyst, book 3 of the Transcendence series by Lisa Beeson. Okay. I accidentally left my battery pack at work, so I have to make the 10-mile journey walk to and from work to go pick that up at some point in the next 24 hours, 12 hours. But I'm going to try and at least get this started because I just need to. I just stopped my YouTube video that I was watching, and I'm not going to play the video games because I'm running out of battery. It was already only at half charge. And I can't express to you guys how much I love this freaking book series. But hopefully you're getting that. And here we go. Because we're running low on battery. So let's try and get at least a couple chapters of this in. Because freaking, I don't know. I just want to. I need to. I want to read it. And no point in reading it at this point for the gazillionth time if I'm not going to also film it, since that's what I'm doing now. And oh, I'm so mad. I just pulled this out of my bookshelf. The mice got to it. Gosh. It's okay. Much like with our bodies and life, scars, wrinkles, they're a map of our life and our existence, and these books are very well beaten up because that's how much I love them, and that just adds to it, shall we say. I guess we'll say that. Alrighty. I'm still sick, as from the last videos of the last book. I'm still sick. So we'll just work with it. I just have to start reading it because I love it. So that's what we're doing. Welcome back to the Transcendence series. Book 3, Catalyst by Lisa Beeson. The prologue. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I hope having this earbud on isn't affecting this. Oh, I guess I'll leave it. I don't want to mess with it in case it messes with it. We'll go with it. I hope it doesn't mess it up. I don't know if it's talking through my phone or talking through the headphone. We're just going to do what we do. We're just going to... I wonder if... Oh, no, I can't pause it and then take it out. Or can I? We'll try it. We'll do it now. We're still at the beginning. All right. Headphones out. Hopefully it hasn't messed this up too much. Prologue. As Helena Devane joined the panicked horde rushing down the stairwell to the screeching peals and flashing lights of the fire alarm, she bitterly regretted not having left Royce's party earlier with Lothan and Ari when she'd had the chance. But she had been having too much fun, so she stayed. Oh God, please help me get out of here alive, she earnestly prayed. Ever since she had narrowly survived a house fire as a child, Helena was deathly afraid of fire in any form. Her heart was hammering painfully against her rib cage. Her breath was coming out in short, sharp rasps. You're being a little loud for this, buddies. Thank you. And she was beginning to break out in a nervous cold sweat as the heavy cloak of panic and dread settled around her. She was certain that Lothan would have made sure that she was safe and protected, unlike Royce, who was the first one to the stairwell door, leaving everyone else in his penthouse to fend for themselves. The coward. Helena made sure she had enough control to charm the people immediately around her. She wanted them to care about her safety and gladly make a protective wall around her, so she wouldn't get knocked down and trampled as they made their way down the crowded stairwell. Even though there was no smoke yet, memories of the acrid fumes that she just knew would be coming to choke her soon began to envelop her senses in a vivid flashback. This brought her to the brink of a hysterical fit. I'm all stuffed up, and it's making it hard to do this, but we're gonna work. We're gonna just power through because I just want to read it. This brought her to the brink of a hysterical fit. Encased in her human shield, they pushed their way through the throng as fast as they could, unable to care about what happened to anyone in her way. Helena's mind was singularly focused on escape from the claustrophobic death trap of the stairwell. By the time they reached the third-floor landing, the sprinklers were spraying powerful jets of water to combat the encroaching flames, and dark smoke billowing into the stairwell from beyond the door. This propelled Helena forward like a spooked horse. She was drenched, gasping for breath and clawing wildly as she squeezed through the tight mass of people fighting their way through the door to the lobby. After she made it through the door, she released her charm protectors from her thrall and followed the flow of the crowd towards the front exit, where she could see the welcome sight of the fire engine's lights from outside. Before she managed to reach the threshold of promised safety, she was flanked by two suited men with earpieces, who grabbed her arms and steered her away from the front doors. She frantically struggled against their vice-like grips. "No! What are you doing?" she screamed in desperation. But she could barely hear herself over the din of the evacuation. "I have to get out of here!" The man on her left calmly said in her ear, "Please come with us, Mrs. Devane. We have a car ready and waiting for you," as the pair of them purposefully led her through the building. Fiercely clinging to his words, she let them lead her towards another exit that opened to a side street. As soon as she left the building, her panic-clouded mind cleared a bit and reason returned. They never told me who they were. "Do you work for Royce? Or did Lothan send you to come get me?" Neither of them answered, and as they continued to usher her towards an unfamiliar black car, the relief she had felt from getting away from the fire quickly dissipated and was replaced with sharp adrenaline-fueled fear. Am I being kidnapped? Ugh. I really liked the voice I had for her before, but I'm so stuffed up now. One moment, please. Okay, I think I'm a little better. Am I being kidnapped? She immediately focused on charming the suited men to lull them into letting her go. But as soon as she had them in her thrall and they began to loosen their grips on her arms, she heard the exit door open, up behind them. She turned towards the sound to see a strange teenage boy with cold, pale blue eyes coming towards them. "Get her in the car before we're seen," the boy said in a clipped, authoritative tone. Confused at how this boy could have had the authority to command these men, Helena tried to charm him as well. Teenage boys were usually the easiest for her to charm, but she seemed to have no effect on him. This was the second time tonight that her ability had failed her. First Ari, and now this strange dead-eyed boy. Am I losing my touch? She quickly turned to the man who had spoken earlier, seductively leaning into him and caressing his cheek. After being soaked by the sprinklers, she was sure she looked like a drowned rat, but to someone in her thrall it shouldn't matter. "I don't need to get in that car, do I, darling?" He smiled, entirely enraptured by her, and shook his head. "No, ma'am, not if you don't want to." "Yes, she does," the boy said, giving her a terrifying, predatory glare. "No, I don't." Helena had just about enough of this strange, insolent boy. She turned back to the suited man with a pout. "He's being a bother. Please make him stop." The man turned towards the boy, but before he could take a step, the boy held out his hand and a ball of flame appeared hovering above it. Helena gasped and took a step back in horror. Overcome by blind panic, she was unable to keep the man in her thrall. Just as she was about to let out a blood-curdling scream, she felt a sharp stinging in her neck. She glanced over just in time to see the other suited man holding a small, empty syringe in his hand before she fell into a deep, dark oblivion. And that was the prologue. Let me see how long. Oh, chapter 1 is real short. So at 11 minutes, we're just going to keep going. Chapter 1 of Catalyst by Lisa Bisset. Third book in the Transcendent series. The sun was just beginning to peek over the horizon when Jamie Lennox shot up in bed, her eyes wide open and her hands itchy. She dashed out of bed and went straight down the hall to her workroom. Flicking on the light switch, she headed over to her desk where she woke up her computer and went into her illustrating program. Grabbing her stylus, she quickly started sketching out what she had seen in her dream onto the tablet that was connected to her computer. As she worked, she heard Noah mumble something sleepily from the doorway. With an impatient zzz, Jamie made a shut-your-mouth gesture with her left hand, while she continued to sketch with her right. "Don't try to distract me with your sleepy sexiness right now, Zoe. Don't try to distract me with your sleepy sexiness right now, Noah. I'm working." She had to get this down while it was still fresh in her mind. The quicker she could start working on this new sculpture, the quicker the agitated itchiness in her hands would go away. It had always been this way. She'd be dreaming her own bizarre dreams when they'd get hijacked by an intense flash of an image in her mind that would cause her to wake up immediately. If she didn't start trying to recreate what she saw right away, it would feel like millions of tiny buzzing insects living in her hands, which made it impossible for her to function like a normal person. In her mind, the image was broken up into pieces, and it was like trying to put together a very intricate puzzle where every piece had its place. She didn't draw in any coherent way. A line here, a smudge there, curves and angles all seemingly at random. She could never really realize what she was creating until it was finished. Only then was she able to take a step back and take it all in as a whole. As Jamie continued to feverishly draft out the sculpture, she felt the vibrations of Noah's heavy footsteps go back down the hallway. She loved the tall, dark, handsome brute, but he had learned very quickly not to mess with her while she was like this. After Noah made sure Jamie was okay and had unsuccessfully tried to figure out what all her manic sketching was going to be, he went right back to bed. But just as he was about to fall back to sleep, he heard the house phone ring. It was 5:15 in the morning. The only people that used the house phone number were Jamie's potential clients or her and Adam's elderly relatives. So unless she had a very inconsiderate client calling from a different time zone, it was most likely bad news. Noah quickly put some shorts on over his boxers and ran down the stairs to answer it. The only other house phone was in Jamie's workroom, and he knew she wouldn't answer it in her current state. He slid into the kitchen and managed to pick it up on the fifth ring, just before it had a chance to cut into the voicemail. "Lennox residence," he said into the receiver. "Noah Maynard?" asked a female voice on the other end. "Who is this?" he asked warily. Who'd be calling me on this line? This is Cassandra St. Clair. Noah recognized the name. She and her cousin Jean-Baptiste were the ones Adam had been staying with in New Orleans over the past 4 months. This lady is some kind of fortune teller or something. A feeling of dread began to constrict in his chest. They hadn't heard anything from Adam in weeks. Has something happened? Where's Adam? It would be best if I spoke with you and Jamie in person. There are many important things we need to discuss, she said in a very measured tone. It reminded him of how he used to sound on the phone with his mother back when he was about to go on a dangerous mission that he couldn't tell her about. Trying to keep the apprehension out of his voice, he said stiffly, "All right. When and where?" "I should be there in about 3 hours." "All right." "Noah?" "Yes?" Sorry, I'm breaking up now. You should go check on Jamie. She needs you. The hairs stood up on the back of his neck stood up, and without another word, he hung up the phone and ran upstairs. As he burst into Jamie's workroom, he saw that she had stopped sketching. She turned towards him and was shaking her head in denial as tears slid down her cheeks. He immediately came over to her and asked, "What is it? What's the matter, baby?" She stood up and wrapped her arms around his neck, desperately holding on to him like a drowning person. "I don't understand," she whispered frantically into his ear. "Why would I dream that? It doesn't make sense. I can't make that. I won't." As he held her tightly in his arms, trying to console her, he looked over her shoulder at the computer screen to see the finished sketch. And when he realized what he was seeing, his blood ran cold. And that was the end of chapter 1. Oh my gosh, I barely could get through that. Oh my gosh, how heartbreaking. Okay. That was the end of chapter 1. And that's going to be the end of this first video of Catalyst. And how exciting. How exciting is the start to this book already. From the prologue to now the first chapter. I'm sure you all are wondering, what the heck? What is going on? Where is Helena Devane? How is she? Is she okay? What is going on with her? And then Jamie Lennox, what did she see? What is the sculpture? We have to know. And we do. We have to know. This is why we can't stop. We can't stop. We can't switch to the other book. We have to know. And so I must continue on. But in the next video, and goodness gracious, the stuffy nose is killing me. But we have to know. I'll see you all in the next video on chapter 2. Peace.